You may have heard some people claiming they can see ghosts. For a long time, it was thought that these people were insane or were lying. But now scientists are beginning to figure out exactly why some humans can see dead people. And if you have certain mental abilities, you may be able to see them too. There are plenty of ghost stories from throughout history. There's even one about George Washington. Supposedly one day he was walking around his estate when he saw the ghost of a woman in a white flowing gown. He stopped and watched her for a moment as she walked toward the house before disappearing inside. To this day, there's a portrait of the alleged ghost hanging in the halls of Mount Vernon. Some people believe the human brain is capable of perceiving things beyond our natural senses. If that's true, we could perceive more than just the 3 dimensions around us. These mysterious extra senses are called phantom senses. This is the most terrifying thing your brain can do to you. When you experience a phantom sense, you perceive something that isn't really there. And no, we're not talking about the creepy old man you think is staring at you from across the street when you're just looking over your shoulder because you heard footsteps behind you. We mean actually experiencing something that isn't there. It can be a smell, taste, sound, or even touch. It can also be visual. Some people even claim they've seen deceased loved ones. One of the most common types of phantom senses is a phantom smell. You're somewhere, like your home or office, and you suddenly smell something, but there's nothing there. Sometimes it's just one smell, and sometimes it's multiple smells all at once. Many times, the person who smells the phantom odors doesn't recognize them, but occasionally they can be very distinct and even trigger memories. These smells are so real that some people will start to search for the source. They may open windows and doors or move furniture to let more air circulate. People who experience phantom smells often report the odors sticking around for days or weeks. No matter how much they try to get rid of them, they won't go away. Then there are the people who experience phantom tastes. This is less common than phantom smells, but it still happens. When you have a phantom taste, you can perceive something like a bitter or metallic flavor, even though there's nothing in your mouth. The taste buds on your tongue aren't being stimulated by anything. Now you might be asking yourself, could I have a rare disease that makes me taste things that aren't there? There's no need to worry. Phantom tastes are generally harmless. However, if they're accompanied by other symptoms, they could indicate an underlying health condition. Some diseases that cause phantom tastes include diabetes, liver disorders, kidney problems, hypertension, and allergies. Even more rare than these 2 types of phantom senses are the phantom visual and auditory hallucinations. A person experiencing a phantom visual hallucination sees something that isn't there, like a face or object. People who have experienced these sensations often describe them as vivid and lifelike. Phantom auditory hallucinations are hearing noises that aren't really there. It could be music, voices, sounds of nature, machine noises, or anything else. People who suffer from schizophrenia are more likely to experience phantom senses, but that doesn't mean everyone who has these senses has schizophrenia. So what causes these weird senses? What makes some people hear or see things that aren't there? Well, in 2013, neuroscientists used magnetic resonance imaging or MRI technology to scan the brains of 6 people who claimed to see dead people. The study showed that when the volunteers were exposed to pictures of loved ones who had passed away, their visual cortex lit up. This is the part of the brain responsible for processing visual stimuli. Their brains were responding to the photos of the dead people as if they were seeing them in real life. It seems that some people can actually see ghosts, or at least they see spirits in the way a person sees a memory. Another explanation is that those who see ghosts aren't really seeing them at all. Instead, they're having an out-of-body experience. Some studies show that when people have near-death experiences, their consciousness leaves their physical bodies and travels to a different plane of existence. Some of those people are able to return to their bodies and live normal lives. Others never return. What about phantom limb pain? This is a sensation felt by amputees. Even though a person's arm or leg is missing, they can feel pain in that limb. Doctors aren't sure exactly what causes this type of phantom pain, but they know that the nerves in the missing limb are sending signals to the brain that are being interpreted as painful. This is a type of phantom sense because the pain is felt where there is no longer a body part. While some phantom senses can be explained by science, others cannot. One of the most baffling is the one that makes you feel like someone is touching you when no one is near. Think about it. You're sitting at home alone when suddenly you feel someone's hand on your shoulder or neck. You jump and turn around, but there's no one there. You look around the room and don't see anyone. Then you dismiss it and go back to what you were doing. A few minutes later, it happens again. Sometimes the sensation feels pleasurable and other times it feels painful. In some cases, it can feel itchy. Regardless of how it feels, it's always startling when you feel something that isn't there. Some people say they experience these phantom sensations because of electromagnetic fields, but there's no evidence to support this theory. Others say they're caused by demons or other paranormal entities. These theories are equally unsupported. There's no way to prove or disprove either one. In fact, there's no way to prove or disprove any of the current theories regarding phantom senses. Since these strange occurrences can't be proven by science, some people consider them to be made up. But this isn't necessarily true. Many people who experience phantom senses are perfectly sane. They're not trying to make up excuses for why they couldn't complete a task someone asked them to do. They weren't just concentrating extra hard when they turned to see a ghost. The truth is, scientists haven't been able to figure out why some people have these senses, even though they're real. We know that some of them are caused by neurological issues such as schizophrenia, but the ones that are caused by conditions like diabetes or hypertension only occur in some people who have those conditions. Why do phantom senses occur in some patients and not others? Is there something else at play here that science doesn't understand yet? The answer to that question lies in the unknown, the same place where ghosts reside. And since there's so much that science doesn't understand, it's possible that many people experience these sensations and don't even realize it. Maybe you've brushed up against someone who wasn't there or smelled a delicious aroma with no source. Perhaps you felt a cold spot with no logical explanation. If you have, you may want to talk to a doctor first. Some phantom senses can be a sign of a medical problem. If your doctor gives you the all clear, you might want to ask yourself if you could be developing a new type of sense. Humans have had 5 senses for hundreds of thousands of years, but there's no reason we can't evolve and develop a 6th or 7th sense. After all living creatures on Earth evolved from single-celled organisms. If life began with single cells, what's stopping us from evolving new senses in the future? Scientists aren't sure how long it will take, but they believe humans will continue to evolve. Just take a look at our ancestors to see how quickly things can change. A few thousand years ago, our ancestors lived in caves and hunted wild animals. Today, we live in high-rise buildings and travel around the world in metal tubes. The chances are good that millions of years from now, we'll be doing things we can't even imagine today. It's also possible that millions of years from now, humans will have new senses that we can't even imagine today. So the next time you think you feel something that isn't there, try to enjoy the experience rather than being afraid of it. You could be developing a brand new sense. Other people might be able to see ghosts, and you might be able to see them too, but you're not aware of it yet. If you want to learn more about this topic, click the link in the description below. We would love it if you would leave us a comment. Please subscribe to the channel and hit the like button if you enjoyed this video.